Hey, what's up, you guys? By one request, and no other, because nobody actually asked for this except for one person, as a joke, I will be reading Twilight today. Just the first chapter. I'm also illiterate, so here we go. Chapter 1, First Sight. My mother drove me to the airport as fuck, I already can't read! My mother drove me. I'm gonna go slow, because I can't read. My mother drove... How should I say this? Bella. I have a werewolf and a vampire fighting for me. And I hate forks. Okay, I got this. My mother drove me to the airport with the windows rolled down. It was 75 degrees in Phoenix, the sky a perfect cloudless blue. I was wearing my favorite shirt, sleeveless, white eyeless, white... Can I do this? Okay. I'll just start from here. It was this... Oh my god. Why did I think this was a good idea? I can't read. It was 75 degrees in Phoenix, the sky a perfect cloudless blue. I was wearing my favorite shirt, sleeveless, white eyelet lace, and I was wearing it as a farewell gift. Gesture. I'm just guessing at this point. No brain. Empty thought. No head. Whoa. It was 75 degrees in Phoenix. I'm not past the second sentence! It was 75 degrees in Phoenix, the sky a perfect cloudless blue. I was wearing my favorite shirt, sleeveless, white eyelet lace. I was wearing it as a farewell gesture. My carry-on item was a parka. In the Olympic Peninsula of Northwest Washington State, a small town named Forks exists under a near-constant cover of clouds. Wow, that was so choppy. Like, I read that like a robot. I was like, anyways. It rains on this concentric... I can do it. It rains on this inconsequential. How the fuck did I pass second grade? It rains on this inconsequential town more than any other place in the United States of America. It was from this town and its gloomy, omnipresent shade that my mother escaped with me. Holy fuck, I'm still on the first fucking page. Jesus. I can't read a whole chapter. Omnipresent shade that my mother escaped with me when I was only a few months old. Whatever. Let's move on. It was in this town that I'd been compelled to spend a month every summer until I was 14. That was the year I finally put my foot down. These past 3 summers, my dad, Charlie, vacationed with me in California for 2 weeks instead. It was to Forks that I now exiled myself, an action that I took with great honor. I detested Forks. I loved Phoenix. I loved the sun and the blistering heat. I loved the vigorous, sprawling city. Bella, my mom said to me, the last of 1,000 times before I got onto the plane, you don't have to do this. My mom looks like me, except with short hair and laugh lines. I felt a spasm of panic as I stared at her wide, childlike eyes. How could I leave my loving, erratic, harebrained mother to fend for herself? Of course she has Phil now, so those bills would probably get paid. There would be food in the refrigerator, gas in her car, and someone to call when she got lost, but still. I want to go, I lied. I'd always been a bad liar, but I'd been saying this lie so frequently lately that it sounded almost convincing now. Why did I say it like that? Almost convincing now. Tell Charlie I say hi. I will. I'll see you soon, she insisted. You can come home whenever you want. I'll come right back as soon as you need me. But I could see the sacrifice in her eyes behind the promise. Don't worry about me, I urged. It'll be great. I love you, Mom. She hugged me tightly for a minute, and then I got on the plane and she was gone. It's a 4-hour flight from Phoenix to Seattle, another hour in a small plane up to Port Angeles. Is it Port Angeles or I'm assuming it's Angeles. Angeles? That sounds wrong. That sounds very wrong. I'm going to just keep saying Port Angeles. Port Angeles. I'm going to say that. And then an hour back down to Fork. Flying doesn't bother me. The hour in the car with Charlie, though, I was a little worried about. Charlie had been very, doesn't even say very in this fucking sentence. I was on a roll. I was on a really good roll. Charlie had been fairly nice about the whole thing. He seemed genuinely pleased that I was coming to live with him for the first time with any degree of permanence. He'd already gotten me registered for high school, and I was going to help and was going. Whoa, hi. I was doing really good there. Charlie had been fairly nice about the whole thing. He seemed genuinely pleased that I was coming up to live with him for the first time with any degree of permanence. He'd already gotten me registered for high school and was going to help me get a car. But it was sure to be awkward with Charlie. Neither of us was... Why can't I say this? Okay. Neither of us was what anyone would call verbose. I don't even know what that is. And I didn't know what there was to say regardless. Oh, does that mean like talkative? Why didn't you just say talkative? Weird. Where was I? Okay. I knew he was more than a little confused by my decision. Like my mother before me, I hadn't made a secret of my detest for forks. When I landed in Port Angeles, I'm just gonna, once again, keep going. When I landed in Port Angeles, it was raining. I didn't see it as an omen, just unavoidable. I'd already said my goodbyes to the sun. Charlie was waiting for me in the cruiser. This I was expecting too. Charlie is a police chief. Whoa. Jesus. Charlie is police chief swan to the good people of Forks. My primary motivation behind buying a car, despite my scarcity of my funds, was that I refused to be driven around town in a car. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! Okay. Ugh. My primary motivation behind buying a car, despite my scarcity of my funds, was that I refused to be driven around town in a car with red and blue lights on top. Nothing slows down traffic like a cop. Charlie gave me an awkward, one-armed hug when I stumbled my way off the plane. "It's good to see you, Bells," he said, smiling as he automatically caught and studied me. "You haven't changed much. How's Renee?" "Mom's fine. It's good to see you too, Dad." I wasn't allowed to call him Charlie to his face. I had only a few bags. Most of my Arizona clothes were too permeable. I'm going to say permeable for Washington. My mom and I had pooled our resources to supplement my winter wardrobe, but it was still scanty. It all fit easily into the trunk of the cruiser. "I found a good car for you, really cheap," he announced when we strapped in. "What kind of car?" I was suspicious of the way he said good car for you, as opposed to just good car. "Well, it's a truck actually, a Chevy." Oh, sorry, wait, dad voice. "Well, it's a good truck actually, a Chevy." "Where'd you find it?" Do you remember Billy Black down at do you okay. Do you remember Billy Black down at La Push? La Push is the tiny Indian reserve on the coast. No. "He used to go fishing with us during the summer," Charlie prompted. That would explain why I didn't remember him. I do a good job of blocking... Whoa. That would explain... Whoa. Okay, chill. That would explain why I didn't remember him. I do a good job of blocking painful, unnecessary things from my memory. "He's in a wheelchair now," Charlie continued when I didn't respond.
So he can't drive anymore, and he offered to sell me his cheap truck. Cheap.
One more time.
He's in a wheelchair now,
Charlie continued when I didn't respond.
so he can't drive anymore, and he offered to sell me his truck cheap.
Why did that was so hard? Okay. What year is it? I could see from his change of expression that this was the question he was hoping I wouldn't ask.
Well, Billy's... Billy's done a lot of work on the engine. It's only a few years old, really.
I hope he didn't think so little of me as to believe I would give up that easily. When did he buy it?
He bought it in 1984, I think.
Did he buy it new?
Well, no. I think it was new in the early 60s or late 50s at the earliest.
He admitted sheepishly. He admitted sheepishly. Dad, I don't really know anything about cars. I won't be able to fix it if anything went wrong, and I can't afford a mechanic.
Really, Bella, the thing runs great. They don't build them like that anymore.
The thing, I thought to myself. It had possibilities as a nickname, at the very least. How cheap... I almost went into his voice. How cheap is cheap? After all, that part I couldn't compromise on.
Well, honey, I kind of already bought it for you as a homecoming gift.
Charlie peeked sideways at me with a hopeful expression. Wow, free. You didn't need to do that, Dad. I was going to buy myself a car.
I don't mind. I want you to be happy here.
He was looking ahead at the road when he said this. Charlie wasn't comfortable with expressing his emotions out loud. I inherited that from him, so I looked straight ahead as I responded. That's really nice, Dad. Thanks. I really oh, fuck, this is Bella. That's really nice, Dad. Thanks. I appreciate it. No need to add that my being happy in Forks is an impossibility. He didn't need to suffer along with me, and I never looked a free truck in the mouth or engine. Does that make sense? Whatever. Well, now, you're welcome, he mumbled, embarrassed by my thanks. We exchanged a few more comments on the weather, which was wet, and that was pretty much it for the conversation. We stared out the windows in silence. I'm gonna end there. We're not even done chapter 1, but that was like painful to go through, and I suck at reading. I don't think I'm gonna do that again. I don't think I'm gonna do that again. That was painful. That was painful. I'm sure for watching. I'm sure for you guys watching this. That was also painful for me to read out loud. I don't read out loud. That was a lot. That was horrible. I don't want to do that again. No. Anyways, I'm going to do something else next time. I've also decided that this is just going to be a shitpost channel. No schedule. No theme. I'm just going to do things on here. That's it. So, maybe I'll read something else next time. I have the Hunger Games. I also have the entire Divergent series, despite never reading any of those books. So, I also have some John Green, if you guys want to hear some John Green. Anyways, bye! Maybe it was the light, but I already looked Whoa. Sallower? I'm just gonna look that up now so I don't embarrass myself. Sallower.